ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Anantkoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Segahar Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Das Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Govardhana Shankar Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki Jai. Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki Jai. Shri Gauri Tai ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Go Premanande. All glories to this and all devotees. All glories to this and all devotees. All glories to this and all devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. That was really nice. Really nice. Thank you very much. Devotees, a couple of points to start off with. One is that there's a disciple of mine from South Africa, but currently he's actually in Calcutta in the hospital right now. He was in Mayapur taking part in the helping with the GBC meetings. But suddenly, well, I saw him last on the, what was it, the 10th, I think, or maybe the 9th, and it seemed nothing special was wrong. But unfortunately, he's contracted a really serious viral infection, and all we can do, I mean, the doctors in a high-level hospital are trying their best, but for ourselves, we're not doctors, but we can just try our best to pray. You know Namacharya, yeah. Some of you know Namacharya. Such a nice devotee, real gentleman, kind of elderly person. I think he's dedicated devotee. So please, if you could just remember His Grace Namacharya Prabhu, it would really be greatly appreciated, some prayers. And who knows what will happen, but the prayers of the Vaishnavas are extremely powerful. So, yeah, I mean, things could be turned around completely, actually. So that's one thing, important thing. Another thing is that, personally, I am a bit tired. Yeah, it's not been a good point, but I'm a bit tired because we flew overnight from Calcutta with Air Asia, and we landed here, I forget what it was, but we left there, I think, at 1, and got here whatever it was, 5 or 6 or something. And therefore, physically, I'm a little not in the best condition. So please be kind. Don't expect too much. We're going to have a little class right now, but we'll probably finish, we'll see how it goes, but I would imagine we'll finish 9-ish or so. But even though it's not a long time, I'm sure some interesting things can come out. And next time, well, I didn't take rest during the day. I didn't sleep at night when we were flying. I was trying to chant my rounds. And then we got here and I didn't take rest. I should have taken rest. Anyway, very well. So, yes. So here we go. So what I'm going to do is look at 2 pastimes of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan, and they may both, or one of them, whatever, may be quite familiar to you. That's fine. Or maybe you've not heard of these pastimes before. That's also fine. But we'll go through these pastimes because they're really nice and they're really interesting. Okay, so fasten your seatbelts and let us begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthana Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachayane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastutyadi Jatane Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivastani Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchikapatrubischakri Sindhubhya Etacha Panitanam Padanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Right. So like I said, you may be familiar with these pastimes, you might not, I don't know. Even if you're familiar with them, don't worry, because Prabhupada said in Krishna consciousness, repetition of a good thing is good. And in other words, we shouldn't think in such a situation that, oh, I know this. There's always, I would say pretty much always, something new you can learn, some revelation, some deeper understanding to these pastimes, because they're just, they're really amazing. So, the first one is called, it's written by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and it is titled Sri Swapna Vilas Amritashtaka. Like I say, maybe you're familiar, maybe you're not. And what that means, Swapna means dream, Vilas means pastime or pastimes, and Ashtaka, well, Vilas Amrita means nectarian, and Ashtaka means 8 verses. So in other words, the title translates as 8 prayers describing nectar pastimes in Srimati Radharani's dream. Swapna means dream. Pastimes in dreams. So, the background, you could say, is that Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani, at night they have their rasa dancing pastimes and related pastimes every night. Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi, Sri Sri Radhasham Sundar, Sri Sri Gaunitai Ki Jai. Right, so this is a description of a very beautiful pastime presented as 8 verses, 8 prayers. So it's short, but it's very deep and really nice. So the thing is, Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani at night, and the other gopis too, but particularly the 2 of them, they have their transcendental conjugal pastimes in Vrindavan Dham every night. And they have their pastimes at night. And what they do, they have their rasa dancing pastimes, which are very wonderful. And they go through the whole night. And even Srila Prabhupada actually mentions in the Krishna books that they're just experiencing so much nectar in the rasa dance pastimes. The gopis, including Srimati Radharani, that Lord Krishna extends the night. He extends the night because there's just so much nectar. They're just so happy serving the Lord in that conjugal way and interacting with Him in different ways on like a conjugal basis. So what Lord Krishna does, Prabhupada explains, he extends the period of the night to the length of time of a night of Lord Brahma, which is awfully long. We're talking about millions, even billions of years. But an interesting feature of all of this is that the devotees, the gopis particularly, they're just so absorbed in those conjugal pastimes that they just don't notice the passage of time. And so therefore, the period of a night of Lord Brahma goes by, and they're dancing for that whole time. And then the sun starts coming up, and the gopis, they're just so transcendental that they don't think that, wow, that was millions of years. We've been dancing for millions of years. Rather, they think, oh no, such a short time to dance. It's terrible. It's unfair. But actually, it's millions of years. That's high-level experience. We're not on that level, but they are. So Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna, what they do, at the end of the evening, or like when the morning looks like it's going to come, some light is coming on the horizon. So they go to a place, what's the name of the place? Anyway, that forest just by Nidhivan. It's Nidhivan. They go to Nidhivan. Nidhi means to sleep, the forest of sleeping. And there is, even now, there's a small, very nice-looking building, just big enough to fit a bed in, more or less. And they go in there and they sleep for a while, having been really actively involved in dancing, transcendental dancing. So yes, Nidhivan, the forest of Nidhi, of sleeping. So they have sleeping pastimes in this Nidhivan, which I don't know how familiar you are with the layout of Vrindavan Dham, but if you know where, what would you say? Anyway, if you know where Radharani's temple, it's basically just across the road. It is just across the road. It's a walled garden. Yeah. So they go there and they have sleeping pastimes. And one night, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that Srimati Radharani woke up earlier than Krishna, because she, during that sleeping time, she had an incredible dream, an amazing dream. Swapna, Sri Swapna, Vilas Amritashtaka. Swapna means dream. Yeah, so she had this amazing dream. So she woke up Lord Krishna and she explained to him what was that dream. And it was really profound. She explained what it was, but she explained that she didn't really understand it. It kind of defied explanation. And she said that, it's in this dream, I saw a river, and it was practically just like the Yamuna, but not exactly. It was a little different from the Yamuna. And there were many expert musicians, mridanga players and singers, glorifying Lord Krishna. But they were different, somewhat, a little different, not very different, but noticeably different from our Brij Basi singers and musicians. They were dressed a little differently, and they were singing. Their pronunciations
were a little different from the pronunciations, etc., of our musicians here in Vrindavan. It was really beautiful, but it was clearly somewhat different. And I just couldn't make out what is going on here. And there, in that dream, amongst all these devotees, they were all devotees, and amongst them, there was one great Brahmin. She says, a Brahmin jewel, as splendid as lightning, who was tossing the universe into an ocean of pure love. Now, who could that be? And Radharani describes, sometimes he would call out, "Oh, Krishna, Krishna." And I would think, oh, he's me. But then he would call out, "Oh, Radha, where are you? Where are you?" And I would think he was you. And it was like bewildering and something like that. Sometimes he'd fall to the ground in the middle of dancing ecstatic. He would just get carried away and crash to the ground. And sometimes he would act wildly and then just sort of spin and jump and dive and roll and things like that, losing all composure. And sometimes he would just dance ecstatically with his associates, who are these devotees, who they're like the Brijvasi devotees, but they're a bit different. So he would, dance ecstatically with them. And his influence was so incredibly powerful. He made all the residents of this world, from the blades of grass up to Lord Brahma, he made them all loudly call out with your name, Krishna. So, I cannot understand what's going on. Who are these people who look similar to the Brijvasi devotees, but they're different? Who is this big jewel of a Brahmin who is just in such incredible ecstasy and just behaving in such amazing ways? It's beyond our understanding. So she said to Lord Krishna, as I looked at him, my intelligence became bewildered. If he is my beloved Krishna, then where am I? And if he is me, then where is my beloved Krishna? As I slept, I became more and more bewildered. So then Lord Krishna intervened. Lord Krishna intervened. And he said, "Oh, my dear inquisitive girl, previously I've shown you so many other forms of myself. So many. I've showed you Narayan and Varaha and Vamana and just dozens and even more, hundreds of different forms of me. And you were not. You sort of handled it. You didn't become bewildered by the experience of seeing them. But now this particular person, you've become bewildered by seeing them, and You don't know whether you're coming or going. So Lord Krishna said, why does this Brahman surprise you? Why does he confuse you so much that you ask, who is he? Who is he? What is he? What's he doing? And what's it all about? So then, Lord Krishna, the plot thickens, devotees. Please listen carefully. Lord Krishna, smiling at Srimati Radharani and looking at Radharani, after speaking these words, just a few words, Lord Krishna touched his Kaustubha gem, and that jewel, the Kaustubha gem, understanding the Lord's intentions, glowed and suddenly showed the pastimes that Radharani had seen in her dream. Yes. And Radharani, seeing this now, she reflects and she says, my beloved, I know what's in your heart. Now that you've made me smile, in other words, ecstasy is educational. Ecstasy is not just like happy days. Transcendental ecstasy is highly educational. So, yes. So Radharani said, my beloved, now I know what is in your heart. Now that you've made me smile, you are that Brahman. And what you have said and thought is now clear to me. And therefore, I think I am him also. So it's you, but it's also me. So by, my Lord, by sort of tuning us in with the Kaustubha gem, which is just so delightful, you've revealed yourself to all the living entities. And you've plunged the world into the ocean of pure love. So, yes, so she says, when Garga Muni came to do the name-giving ceremony of Krishna and Balaram in the presence of Nanda Maharaj, he said that you will appear with a golden complexion. He didn't lie. This dream of mine is true, it's not an illusion. In this dream I've directly seen you. So it's an ashtakam, means it's 8 verses, but there is a 9th verse, which is often the case with ashtakams, like deep, very deep prayers to the Lord. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, and listen to this, are you okay? Are you all right? No one's losing it or getting confused. What he says, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, if the bumblebee of the reader's mind drinks the nectar of the Swapna, Vilas, Amrita, then that intelligent reader will quickly awaken from the dream of materialistic doubt. Such a reader will attain Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will sport in the ocean of pure love. He will attain the peerless mercy of the King of Vrindavan. So yes, so Srimati Radharani is seeing Lord Chaitanya, but this, in Krishna's pastimes, there are a number of times, a number of situations where Lord Krishna is said to appear for the first time as Lord Chaitanya. This is one of those occasions that this is when in her dream, Lord Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya and just revealed himself, revealed his pastimes as Lord Chaitanya to Srimati Radharani. So there you go, devotees. How's that? Is that interesting?
Yes.
I hope so. I find it extremely interesting, extremely profound. Yes. So we need the mercy to realize these things. So what she was seeing was the Bengali devotees, who are very similar to the Brijvasis, but they're a little different also. Like particularly, at least in many cases, their pronunciations, they pronounce things differently, the Bengalis, than the Brijvasis, and Radharani noticed that. She doesn't say exactly in as many words, but they were singing something like Hare Krishna. Apni Bengali? Okay. Hare Krishna. They tend to pronounce A's in not exactly like just a straight O, but kind of something like that. Hare Krishna. Interesting point, Srila Prabhupada did not do that. Listen to Prabhupada. He's Bengali in those terms, but he didn't say Hare Krishna, which is very common amongst Bengalis, to O instead of A. So Radharani was hearing. They're chanting. It's something like our Brijvasi devotees, but it's a bit different. What's going on? Who are they? And who is he? And then she understands, after looking in the Kaustubha gem, looking into the gem, within the gem, she sees actually it's Lord Chaitanya and his devotees delivering the universe through Sankirtan. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And please forgive me, I'm not very energetic today. Sure. Haven't slept for a couple of days. So here we go, here's another story, devotees. Listen to this. And you should fasten your seatbelts because, it's pretty powerful stuff, actually. And if you're not transcendental enough, then who knows what may happen. So now this is the story, it's related. This is the story, famous story of Pili Poka. Are you familiar with Pili Poka? You are, of course. Who's been to Pili Poka? Why not? Just joking. Anyway, it's really nice, Pili Poka. Pili, Pili basically means yellow or golden, and polka is like a Bengali form, more than anything, of the term kund. Yeah, so Pili polka means the yellow kund or the golden kund. And it's right at the foot, pretty much at the foot of Vaishana. It's just if you come down from the main temple at Vaisham, you come down the long stairway, and then you just walk out, sort of walk straight out away from the hill. Then you'll come to a canal. A canal. It's actually an irrigation canal. And directly on the other side of the canal is Kuala. So what happened was, so Kuala, the golden lake, like that. And this is where one of Radha Krishna's most wonderful transcendental pastimes took place. So, one time, Devasa Muni, he gave Srimati Radharani a blessing that whatever you cook will taste like nectar. Well, he gave two blessings. That's the first one. Whatever you cook will just taste like nectar. And whoever eats your cooking will never get sick. So when he did that, I mean, it's a long story. We could explain the story how he gave those benedictions, but anyway, let's leave that for the time being. But he did. He did. And when Mother Yashoda heard that, then she insisted that every day Radharani would come from Yavat, which is not far from Nandagram, it's a few kilometers. And that's where she lives. Radharani lives in Yavat. But Mother Yashoda, because she is the queen, her husband is the king. So, they're royalty, and they are governing the area. So if they want someone to do something, that person has to do what they say. So Mother Yashoda arranged, having heard of this benediction given by Devasa Muni, she arranged that Srimati Radharani would come from Yavat to Nandagram every day, twice a day, to cook for Krishna. So she was doing that. She was doing that just every day. And as Mother Yashoda was associating more and more with Srimati Radharani, she was observing the just wonderful, uniquely wonderful, incredible, transcendental qualities of Radharani. Mother Yashoda concluded she has to become the husband of my Krishna. That's all there is to it. Yeah. Because she is just the best young lady, and my Krishna is just the best young man. So it has to be like that. So one day, what she did, Mother Yashoda did, she got a bit carried away, and she took Radharani aside and rubbed turmeric powder on the hands of Srimati Radharani. And then she asked Radharani, you know what this means? And Radharani said, no, I don't, please tell me. And Mother Yashoda said, this means that you are now engaged to marry my Krishna. Radharani, of course, on one level she was just ecstatic, but on another level she had some really quite serious reservations that, what's my mother going to say? you haven't discussed this with my parents. And so, we can't just do our own thing and leave my parents completely out of the picture. So Radharani, on one level, on one hand, she was really happy because she wanted that actually. But then on another level, she was anxious because, she's a very dutiful girl. She's just like a first-class young girl, not like one of the wild children, but she's highly cultured. And so something like that, to herself as the girl, to accept an arrangement for marriage without the permission and approval of her parents, it's just not possible. Just completely impossible. So Radharani, she said, but what's my mother going to say? Shouldn't we ask her first? And Mother Yashoda said, oh, don't worry. She'll be happy. She'll be overjoyed to hear this. So just relax. Don't worry. So Radharani is at that time, this is happening in Nandagram, where she has been cooking lunch for Krishna. And now she's going home to, in this case, to Varshana actually, from Nandagram. And as she's going back, she is with some of her girlfriends, like particularly Lalita and Vishaka, who are very prominent, the most prominent girlfriends and even advisors to her. And so she started discussing it with them, that I don't know what to make of this. Even though it would be wonderful to marry Krishna, but I think I'm too young for marriage. And Lalita and Vishaka agreed. You're too young, it's a fact, because they're like advisors to Radharani. So Radharani said, well, what to do? Now I've got this turmeric on my hands, which is a traditional sign of accepting a marriage proposal. Maybe not nowadays, but at least in Vedic times it was very traditional. And the hands would, once it's all settled, the girl's hands would be like really just coated in turmeric powder. So Radharani said, well, what am I going to do? Now I've got all this turmeric on my hands. And what's my mother going to say? I'm going to be home soon, and I don't know what I can say, how to deal with the situation. So Vishaka said, don't worry, there is a kund just nearby, and you can go there and wash your hands in that kund, and no one will know the difference. Of course, I don't know how familiar you are with getting a whole lot of turmeric on your hands, but usually it's not easy to get it off, like totally, completely off. But anyway, she went to that kund, which was Pilipoka, just there, right next to Varshana, basically. So she knelt down by the water, started rubbing her hands in the water, and the turmeric started dissolving and sort of washing away, like spreading out into this kund. It's not a very big kund, but it's substantial enough. So as she's gazing into the dark blue waters of this kund, she's remembering her beloved Shah. And in her trance of love, she just kept washing her hands and washing until the whole kund became golden. Yes. And her friends, Lalita Vishaka particularly, they became amazed because they could see it's not just turmeric now, but actually it's a transformation of her love for Krishna. Because her love is just like gold. It's just super transcendental. So yeah, Radharani's effulgent golden love for Krishna was now reflected there. So then they all left back to Darshana, which, as I said, is just sort of across the road, kind of. And shortly afterwards, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi, Shri Radhasham Sundar, Shri Bonitai Ki Jai. So, after a little while, when the gopis had returned to Darshana, who should come? Take a guess. But our hero, Krishna, arrived there at Pilipoka. And of course he knows the kund because it's one of the main local kunds. But now he sees this kund is just like effulgent golden colour. I don't know if you've ever seen molten gold, like at high temperature. You see that? Wow. I remember in South Africa, there's a lot of gold coming from South Africa. And like the Gold Institution, whatever, the managing body, what they do, there's a show. It's an Easter show in Johannesburg where thousands and tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people come. And the Gold Institution, they do a demonstration of heating gold and melting gold and then pouring it into, like a form, a mold. And what they do, and of course it's hot. I mean, it's really hot. It's just extremely hot. But what they say is, anyone who can pick up this gold bar, which probably weighs a good kilo or so, you can have it. So far, no one has lifted up the gold bar over like 40 years or something like that, because you'll lose your hands. Your hands will just melt. So the thing is that molten gold, when they pour it into the mold, it's amazing. It's like it's got its own effulgence. Yeah. It's really very, very striking. Molten gold. So Krishna saw that the kund now is the same color as molten gold. It's the same color and sort of like feel of Srimati Radharani's love. So Krishna came and he knelt down by Pilipoka and looked into the waters and saw his reflection there. And when he saw his reflection in that like rich golden water, then he saw, I've turned golden. I'm not blackish any longer, I'm golden now. So then, what Krishna did, he touched the water. Because the water is full of the love of Srimati Radharani. He touched the water. And as he did, a really amazing experience just overtook him, just overpowered him. He became overwhelmed with love for himself. Yes, Radharani's love for himself. So what did Krishna do? He dived into the water. Just dived in to the love of Srimati Radharani. And he started swimming and diving and coming up and going down. And as he came up, he would sing, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Because he's overpowered with love for himself. And then, as this was happening, suddenly he manifested the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes. So, in the form of Lord Chaitanya, he came out of the water and wandered around the gardens surrounding Pilipolka and chanting his own names, chanting Hare Krishna. And he wandered around in those gardens, and gradually his body changed back to the blackish color of Shamsundar. So, they say, even though this Pili-Poker, if you've been there, you would know it's a bit deteriorated. It's not that bad, but it's a bit deteriorated through time. But actually these pastimes are going on there. They're going on there at Pili-Poker, the Golden Crown. And those with transcendental vision can see them even today. Well, you know, that sort of transcendental vision, we have to keep chanting, and gradually it will come to us. But then ultimately we can see Pili-Poka as a manifestation of the love of Srimati Radharani for Krishna, and see how Krishna became immersed in that. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments or questions or anything? Okay, TK. So that's it for today. See you next time. Amen.